Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have no other than comedian, minister, ain't you AKA or Delta?
AK.
She's an AKA, excuse me. Tonja D. Some of y'all might find Tonja fun. You've seen her here in Virginia. She's traveled all over. She's done work with some big names out there, some comedic icons, some comedic legends. Want to say something to the people?
Hey, what up? What up? What up? How y'all doing out there? Glad to be on. I'm trying to get some light in here because I'm kind of bootlegging my set right now because I forgot to take my other light out, but it's all good.
It's
As
all
long as y'all
good.
can see me. Yeah. As long as y'all can see me. That's what's most important is that y'all can see me. But that ain't good either. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to and my dogs want to interfere. I'm excited to be here. I thank you, Ron, for even considering me to interview me. I ain't that big yet, but I'm gonna get big. Other than weight, but I'm gonna get big.
Man, you're as big as you feel, man, as far as like your career. So
yeah, oh yeah.
So for y'all that don't know, last season I did a special season in the episode where I did Black women's in comedy, Black women's taking over comedy. And I have another black woman that's taking over comedy. This is part 4. She wasn't, but so I have her here now. She's going to go up here and tell a story. So I just want to know, like, where you from and how did you get started into comedy?
Okay, where I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. Born and raised, so I came back to. How did I get started in comedy? I was in an abusive relationship, and I was a class clown when I graduated in 1988. I really wanted to do it, but I said, nah, I didn't. Ended up getting married, joining the Navy, getting married. About 2017, 2016, I had left my marriage. I was done. I filed for divorce, but I had to get counseling because when you come out something like that, it's hard. I was in the counseling session, and my therapist. Every time I be in there, I have my therapist dying laughing, and she was like, girl, you really got to do something with this." I said, "What you mean?" She said, "You are funny." I said, "You think I'm funny?" She said, "Girl, you funny." So then she put me in ASAP comedy bootcamp class, and I took a class. But then before I even got to the class, my girlfriend had an open mic, and I just went up to the mic and just grabbed the mic and just started talking. Everybody was in there laughing. And this guy who happened to work at the Funny Bone, he said, "You got to come to the Funny Bone. We had this thing called Clash of the Comics." So I started going to the Clash of the Comics, and the people come and support. But I started noticing, stuff is cliquish. Can I say cliquish? It's cliquish, and if you're not in that clique and a part of that crew, you don't get into it. I'm like, man, and I wanted to give up on comedy, but I said something about it was begging on me. So I went to the comedy boot camp class, and they said, you good, just keep going. Then I went to improv, but from that moment on, at first I was about to give up in Virginia, but then this guy named Joseph, the inspirational comedian, I'm quite sure we work with him together. Joe had saw something I did. He said, "Man, you funny." I said, "You think of me?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Most of the people here, I'm not in the clique, so they kind of write me out." But Joe gave me an opportunity, and I'm like, okay, he let me just do me, and it was great. I'm a clean comic, and a lot of times when women are clean, I had an opportunity there to run a club, a comedy club, but the guy told me, he said, "I need you to remember the way you used to be." That's what you mean, the way I used to be. He said, "I want you up here cussing." I said, "Nah, this ain't for me." And most times when you look at that kind of money, you can make that kind of money. All you're doing is hosting an experience that comes from it. But when it takes you outside of being who you are, I don't cuss on a regular basis. I don't talk like that on a regular basis. I don't talk under my clothes. I don't shun nobody that do. Do your craft the way you do it in the way God has given it to you. Because I truly believe comedy is a craft. I truly believe it's a gift from God, and I truly believe that that God is able to do so much in the same way. I even got ostracized by the church. How you gonna be a preacher and a comedian at the same time? I said, well, how you gonna be a woman and a mama at the same time? And they sit up there looking at me like, I said, same thing. I said, you can't. The Bible says that laughter is good medicine for the soul. If laughter is good medicine for the soul, then who's supposed to make you laugh? And they was like, and they said, well, you be in clubs telling jokes. I said, yep, I've been in clubs telling jokes, and I tell my clean jokes, and I try to show them that you ain't gotta say cuss words. You ain't gotta do that to be funny. If you just funny, period, then it doesn't matter. Everybody, straight, gay, black, white, they'll laugh at your jokes, period. And I learned it. I'm learning it. My big opportunity that came to me when I moved back to Shreveport, because this is a small town. And everybody said, oh, you're going to leave, your opportunity should be in Dallas and Houston and all that. You would never be able to do woo woo. I said, okay. But when I got here, a friend of mine, this guy inboxed a friend of mine. It just so happens to be who? Comedian Vince D from Def Comedy Jams, the area of Bernie Mac now. And we went to a comedy show. At this time, it was Shucky Ducky, uh, Boogie B, and Greater Ray. They were performing. And so we was in the back, the people was coming in or whatever. He said, hey, come in and talk to you. He said, you a comedian? I said, yeah. He said, how long you been doing comedian? I said, I've been doing it about two years now, officially call myself a comedian. After 2 years, I finished school or whatever. He said, okay. He said, you got some material? I said, yeah, I got some material. He said, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. Come out. He said, you ready? I said, yeah, I'm ready. I learned to be ready from 8 Mile. Eminem said, you better own that moment. When you get that moment, you better own it. So he gave me, I opened up, he brought me to the stage, gave me this old fake bogus introduction. Because I didn't get none of the stuff he said I did. But I went to the stage and I held my own. And when I got to that 5 minutes, I could see him doing this. And he wasn't doing this like wrapping up. He was doing this like, hey, keep going. And I was like, shoot, I ain't got that much. I ain't worked the crowd yet. So I did about 10 minutes and I did this like fanatic, this song. I always do my bacon song. I closed with the bacon song and everybody was like, clap, clap, clap. At the end of the comedy show, after everybody performed, they were like, hey, what that female comedian, we want to take pictures with her too. And then when they took a picture of everybody that performed, they put me up there too. And I was like, man, wow, it can happen just like this. And from that moment, then he put me in front of somebody else. I performed with Just Niche. After Just Niche, I performed with Brumman, Reginald Ballard. Then I was supposed to perform with what's his name, LaBelle Crawford, but it was an issue with the promoter. And I've learned in this business too, promoters can be shysty.
Yes.
They wait till the last minute. If the ticket sales don't go good, they want to cut back on your money. Hold up, bro. My job is to tell jokes. Your job is to sell tickets. If the tickets didn't sell, that means you didn't do your job, not me. And when you young to the game, you won't go to, oh, you an amateur. I say, excuse me, Negro spiritual, them jokes make them laugh as if I was a professional. I said, so I need my money. But that didn't go well, and I severed ties with him. I don't have nothing else to do with him. Then they got a comedy club down here. I went down, I was actually doing a private event, and I didn't know, but the comedy club owner was at the private event. So I went on there and I cut a food, and he came up, he said, man, he says, your name came up across the board meeting table. He said, but I had never heard of you before. I said, yeah, I'm one of these old schools. I don't really do social media like that. I ain't, I'm not into YouTube, but all the other stuff. He said, I want you to come to my club. I said, what, you got to open mic or something? Because, I ain't been doing it for 2 years at that time. He said, no, I want to feature you. I said, dang, that's not like money. I got paid for these other shows. I was getting paid nice money for these other shows. So I came over there. I performed and I did well. And I did a show on Friday night, did a show Saturday night. And then I opened up for, they call it the King of Dallas comedy guy. His name is D. Ellis. Funny as heck. I opened for him. I opened up for Derek Keener and Funny Man Pratt. Ghostface, I think his name, Ghostface. I opened up for him. So I just been doing my thing, doing stuff at little outside gigs and doing private gigs. I had one guy, I was cracking on him so bad at the barbershop. I was cracking on him because he was an old guy. His eyebrows was gray, but he had dyed his hair black. So I was just cracking jokes. And then when I left out, I guess we had the same barber. So my barber told him that I was a comedian. He came outside and knocked on my window. I said, yes. So he said, I would like for you to do some comedy for me. I said, I charge. He said, how much do you charge? I said, I charge $10 a minute. That ain't none of this, man. I found out later that he owned like 7 or 8 McDonald's here. He's on the Chambers of Commerce, nothing. So I showed up. He wanted 20 minutes. That was only $200. But when I walked out of there with $500. So tell her 20 minutes worth of jokes. You know what I'm saying? Made my day, So, and then I got hired by this guy. He did this thing called Jazz Ambiance. He did it every month in Dallas. So I would travel to Dallas. He had tried different comedians, but when he got me, he just loved me. and I was just regular, performing like that. So, hey, clean. And I had
Clean.
people crying. Yeah. So I do churches, I do clubs, I do bar mitzvahs, I do corporate events. And that's the one thing that I just was hanging out with Tony Tone, comedian Tony Tone, last weekend. And he said you can be so employable because you clean. And I said, yeah, he said it's kind of hard to do that. I said, that's the only way I know to write is clean. I haven't cussed in so long. I probably don't even know how to put them in the right order. I just probably don't know how to do it no more. I ain't gonna say I can't cuss. I can. I just choose not to. So that's where I'm at with that, Ron. We did a couple open mics together. So
Yeah, I was breaking on fresh into the game, trying to find my voice. And for those that don't know, I'm gonna just say like this: you don't go to comedy school to be funny. You're already naturally funny. You go to comedy school to prepare a joke and how to do stage presence, hold the mic, the proper etiquette. So I just want to throw that out there to anybody think that you go to comedy school to be funny. Funny is something that you're born with. So I was coming out in the game. I just came out of comedy school at the Funny Bone. I'm trying to find my voice in there. I don't know which way to go. I'm nervous, and stuff like that. So to go back onto what you said about the clicks, now pandemic comes, I'm actually now starting to get showcases, right? So I'm doing Zadis did. I'm about to do Kazi Sunday Fundays. I'm about to do Lionel Harris one before it. He shut that down. Pandemic comes, it's done. So I had to figure out another route. So then I started doing Zoom shows, right? Zoom shows took a while for me to get used to because you really get no crowd reaction. So I mean, these shows suck.
Yeah.
So, but they was keeping me sane. They really was keeping me sane.
Me too.
They were really keeping me sane.
Yeah, that part. You know what? It was hard to get used to, but I started learning how to wait. It seemed dead space to me, but then you could hear the people laughing, and then I would just go. It was very difficult, but I met people. Donna from Birdland Comedy. I met Donna. I met so many. I was on a show one day with Lunel. I met a lot of people who doing a lot of things in a lot of different states. I done performed Zoom out of Colorado, New York, LA, everywhere you could possibly do a Zoom. I performed, but I'm gonna be honest, man. I missed that stage because my girlfriend always she would travel with me when I would travel and do comedy, and I'd be in the car cutting up, and she was recording me, and she was like, "Tonja, you really need to put these videos out there so somebody can see this stuff." I said, "Well, I'm gonna make jokes out of them." So, I really don't want to put it out there now because the thing I learned is people steal from me. By me not being a well-known or a household comic, somebody, they'll never hear her. Let me take her joke. But the thing about it, I put my dates, when I write my jokes, I put my dates on it when I write my jokes. And I also type my jokes out. The more I type it and write it, I remember that way. I remember when I write it over and over again. I type and I put a date behind it. So if somebody said, "Oh, you did," yes, I did do it. I even had a bit where I was doing comic in the closet. I was coming on every Sunday during the pandemic, doing comedy in the closet, comic in the closet. And next thing I know, somebody that was supposed to call herself gonna mentor me, I look up, guess what she going?
Telling you a joke.
My whole thing. See, I'm still trying to find my voice, but but she took what I had, and because she was well known, who you think they're gonna think originated with?
Yeah.
But the way I see it is that you put something in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I can't.
You gotta say the name. Don't say the name. You just know.
No. Oh, I'm never gonna call names out. Okay. I don't do that. Let me tell you something. There's people I don't think are funny, but I'm gonna respect them as a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I do know for sure is that there's so many people in the world. I may not be funny to you, but there's somebody that I'm funny to. And I think that there is enough people in the world that every comic, every aspiring comedian, you can make them laugh. They could be laughing all day long. And the one thing I can tell you this, wrong is I learned not to take myself so serious. I sit in the place one time, these people was joning on me so hard, they were cracking on me, and I was supposed to be cracking back. The stuff they was getting was so funny. And they say, you realize he's talking about you? I said, yeah, that's the funny. What he's saying is funny. He said, you ain't upset? I said, no, these jokes. I mean, even if he was trying to hit below the belt, when a person try to hit a joke below the belt, it depends on how confident you are in yourself. Yeah. You can say what you want to about my big head. You can say what you want to about my nose, my small ears, about me gaining weight, about when I go skin and bald head, whatever you want to say about me. But one thing I know for sure is that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I know that when God made me, he said good. Not just good, but very good. So I continue to keep that in my head. So I don't get distracted by what people say, but I can crack just with the best of them. And I try not to take low blows at anybody. But I've noticed that even some people who've been doing this in a long time, they'll take a low dab at you. But see, they don't realize, you might not have been for me a long time, but you've been playing a dozen a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I'm 51 years old and I've only been in the game since 17?
17?
So 2017.
Mm-hmm.
2017 is when I started actually penning the paper, learning how to write jokes, learning how to craft, make it into an art. You know what I'm saying? I just learned it. 18 is when I learned went to comedy school, but 17 is when I started just going out, the counseling and stuff, just talking and making people laugh or whatever. So I haven't been in the game that long, but I have been in the game that long as far as playing the dozen, as far as laughing, and as far as being able to work a crowd. I've been ministering now for as a Sunday school teacher, Bible study teacher. I was a drill instructor, so being in front of a crowd and working a crowd, I can do that. I have never been able not to pump a crowd up. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's one of the things. But the one thing that we both hit on, the one thing about comedy that I do not like is clicks. Clicks.
It's crazy because I think I was talking to you the other day, right? So when the pandemic hit, I just took advantage of the Wi-Fi, right?
Right.
So people don't know, if you don't have Zoom, you have this app called a live show app. You go up there, you actually get like a little crowd interaction. They got a curtain call, everything. Mm-hmm. And I found that out by networking in these groups. So I went to these Black common meetups, and they were telling me all this stuff. We helping out with writing tips. I performing in New York. I ain't even had to change my pants. I'm sitting up here right where I'm at in my bedroom, performing in New York. I done been LA. I did Chocolate Sundays at the Laugh Factory. I did a couple of shows in Tulsa. I was in Atlanta at one point, and I got some other stuff that I was doing all from here. So, the thing about clicks is when you have those clicks on your Facebook or your social media, it trips you out that they actually see the shit. Excuse me. Well, they see the shit. That's my podcast.
Yeah, that's what I want you to understand. I respect you as who you are. I'm who I am, and I know you got much respect for me. So I'm not going to stop you from talking, tell your truth and flow with it. I'm in a comedy show. I'm the only clean one. I open up a comedy show, but if the ones coming behind me, they nasty. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay because I don't know where God is going to place that person who's going to sponsor me. Where God's going to place that person who's going to say, hey, you know what? I like her. Let me do this. Like, oh, girl, I was in the clubhouse the other day. And Hope Floods was saying that out in LA, people can be sitting out there, well, I'm going to make this person famous because they got the money to do that. They can just grab anybody and say, well, you know what? I'm going to make this person blow up. You got the money to do that. I also learned, too, sometimes you got to start picking with people that don't look like you. To get to the next level, unfortunately. Yeah. Because we carry too many clicks. They got clicks in them too, but sometimes you just gotta explore something different. I even did an open mic for a dad joke. I ain't never wrote a dad joke in my life. Didn't know what a dad joke was.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, you right. No, I know what dad jokes is.
I just thought that was corny jokes, but they can certainly be funny, whatever. But he said, but you're so funny, I just want to have you on here. This one lady said, and I didn't get offended, but she said, this guy said, he said, you're a mix between Mom's Mabley and Bernie Mac. I said, well, those are two greats. I'm not offended. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. They said, you funny as heck, And they said, you clean. I said, yeah, I'm clean. I don't and to hear somebody say, hey, I want to work with you. I'm not saying it's going to be tomorrow. And this is the thing. When I hear people say, hey, I want to work with you, I don't think, okay, I'm not going to hound their phone. People don't put my number in their phone or whatever. They got my number. They follow me on social media. The inbox every now and then. So if they want to work with me, it might not be today. It might not be next year. It might not be year after next. But it might be 1 year. They might remember. Let me remember that girl with that gold hair. Let me give her a call and see if she's available. In the meantime,
That's how I got Michael Collier, and he came here 2 weeks ago. He came at the Funny Bone, and I made sure I saw him. So I see him at the Funny Bone. I'm sorry to cut you off. This is a great story.
I sent him an email. He didn't reply to me though, but I sent him an email because he said if you want to know, just hit him up. I'm sorry, I'm having a hot flash, baby. So
it's all right. I had him on the podcast. I was like, yo, bro, I appreciate what you did and stuff like that. He put me on the morning show in front of the clique. He was like, man, this little nigga funny as hell. Exactly what his words is. This little nigga funny as hell.
I saw you. I saw it. I went back and viewed it.
Yeah, he's like, this little nigga funny as hell. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, I done did all these shows. I still can't get booked nowhere in Virginia. Nowhere in Virginia.
But if you were certain people,
I would. I made the second round of America's Got Talent. I just made the second round of Last Comic Standing. I'm just got into Just for Laughs, but I cannot book a show in Virginia at all. And for those
those virtual, or are you actually going there to get it done?
Virtual.
I'm gonna have to start. Right now, I have had to take a hiatus from actually putting myself out there in comedy because this job that I got that pay the bills, they gave me a promotion. But with the promotion, they gave me additional responsibilities. It's 3 different certifications I've got to get. Mm-hmm. They don't give this kind of money away here. It's good money. Enough for me to buy me 10 acres of land and build me a 3,200 square foot home. So I'm doing very well for myself. But at the same time, I'm not doing what gives me passion. When I'm not, you know how you come alive when you're on this stage or behind that mic? I don't think people understand it. And when I can't do it, how it bothers me. Like they're getting ready to do this that comedy thing that's getting ready to go down. Hope Plus is sponsoring this comedy thing down in Atlanta in August. Well, the same week that if I would have known about that, but I booked the trip to Chicago for the same time as that. So I'm not gonna be able to go there. So I'm like, dang, because if I went, I would have to be in Chicago and then leave Chicago and go straight there. Well, I try to save my little hours at work for, I really want to do this, but I said, I want to plan this for next time. So I told her, whenever she do it again, that, hey, I want to know in advance so that I can register and put this stuff on my calendar so I don't have to worry. Like a guy just called me and booked me for a Christmas event. I said, okay, I'm getting ready to go to Cancun for September, just trying to get a groove. Going to Cancun, and the travel agent, she's got connections, so she's gonna try to hook me up because they got entertainment. I said, hey, I got contracts, I got everything. I want to see if you can get me down there, get me a set on the stage, And it only takes something like that for them to want you to come back and do that kind of entertainment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Takes a little bit like that. So that's what I'm doing, And another thing, I'm grateful that you reached out to me. I'm like, Lord, you reached out, and I'm grateful. And I remember I said, hey, when you get up big, don't forget about me. And what you do, you reach back to me, and I'm like, oh my God, Rome is tight. He be shooting his shot out of time, but Rome tight. I be just.
Nah, it's cool, man. I done had some guests up here though. Like I had, Sydney Star from Love and Hip Hop. I have, of course, Porn Stars and Dominatrix. I've had Michael Collier. I've had Diallo Riddle. I had Nori Davis. I had Shane Taylor from Ring of Honor Wrestling. I had just did an interview with D Militant.
Oh yeah, me and Daryl. He never met me before, but he takes back and forth. I did something and he inboxed me. Once he inboxed me, we start communicating like that on inboxing. So. But and now you realize that some of them are so down to earth. I'm telling you right now, Shed G, he's with the Rat Packs of Comedy. They've been to Virginia a couple times, and I share their page. A Hot Topic, DLS, Quinn Q, Munchie, comedian Munchie. I call him my nephew because I remember when the Munchie was born. When I tell you good people, I mean good people. I was just playing with Tony. I said, I slipped in my card. I said, hey, I was flirting. You know, so I said, hey.
You flirted because you told me you was out the game one time.
No, I ain't tell you. No, baby, you told me your age, and I told you was out the game.
This is what you messaging me at like, well, my time, like 10, 11 o'clock. I'm like, these booty call hours. You ain't supposed to be messaging me at this time.
I was asleep. I didn't tell what I told you. What I told you wrong.
You was like, hey, we still doing the podcast. I'm like, these booty call hours. You don't. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something.
Your game.
Hey,
I'm not no cougar. If I am, I'm defanged. I ain't got no teeth.
You a cougar. I could be a cub.
I'm not.
Now look, for anybody out there or whatever, I'm just tell you properly. If you text me past a certain time, ain't no telling what's gonna come on that text message. It's gonna be some wild. Or if you inbox me at a certain time, I tell people that joint all the time.
We are not in the same time zone. I need you to understand that. Okay. I was flirting. I was shooting my shot. No, I wouldn't shoot my shot. But I just said, hey, I slipped in my car. I said, hey, would you lock my phone? I want you to lock my phone number in your phone.
See, and that's what I'm saying. You playing like that, she gonna get she gonna get flued out. She gonna get flowed out of here.
He locked my number in his phone, and he sent me a picture. I said, "Dang, you did this for me." I said, "Okay, let me get your real phone number." Because I don't know about you. Don't you have two numbers? I have two numbers.
I'm petty. I am very petty. I will give out the same phone number. I won't block nobody, just so they can say, "Oh, that's man." Not petty.
Well, you're not. Well, when because I only and this is scary, right? I noticed this guy in the front row. He was laughing at me, just laughing. I said, okay, hey, I got me a fan. But when I got ready to leave the stage, oh boy, he came after me. I mean, I thank God my nephew Munchie was right there, but Munchie was quick on his feet because he saw what I didn't see, where the guy was reaching for me. So it gets scary sometimes when I'm out there traveling by myself. It does. That's why it would be good to be with a group of people where you, if you got a hosting something, a comedy. I was hoping that a couple of clean, winded, a quiet storm, and Tanya. What's Tanya last night? She's a comedian. Tonja, she's a comedian as well. They're both clean comedians. I said, shoot, now we got to get to do something. Nick and Knowles, they're clean comedians. And I said, it'll be good for us to get together and do a little circuit or something. We can get a promoter to promote us and go around and just do a clean comedy set. And churches pay real well. Churches pay better than some clubs.
I know I done booked a couple. I done got booked at a couple of churches, and I got booked at my job. I ain't get paid at the job, but the church, the churches pay well. And then once you tell them, like, I give them my little resume, like, yo, this proof, social media, go out there. I swear I ain't lying.
I got booked for a lunch gathering, and I got paid. Just come in and tell jokes. I told him, I said, y'all gotta pay me because I had to take leave from my job to come here. So how much you make an hour? I said, do you really want to know that? I said, because when I tell you what I make an hour, you gonna realize you gotta pay me. You need to pay me for these jokes. For real. Because if I have to take off to come do it.
I'm gonna ask you this, right? Because I'm keeping it real with all my guests out here. I don't edit, but goddamn Zoom just hit me with the 5-minute warning. They talking about upgrade and pay $40. Nah, we don't know. People don't know out here podcasting. You don't make no money yet. So I'm gonna ask you this: top 5 comedians, dead or alive, any order with a starting 6 men.
Top comedians. For me.
For you.
Sinbad. Love me some Sinbad.
Okay.
Cat Williams.
Woo.
I love Cat. Cat funny. Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Funny as heck. Bernie Mac. And Ricky Smiley. That probably my baby daddy. Ricky Smiley.
Okay, you got a 6-man though. Somebody's coming off the bench. You got one more.
Somebody that's coming off the bench?
Yeah.
I done met some people that's funny as heck to me. 6 men coming off the bitch.
I got you messed up, boy.
That's just so many. I mean, I performed with some funny people. I'm gonna go and put my boy DLS on that one. And he might not be known by everybody, but that boy's stupid. I promise he's stupid. He's stupid for real. He's certified stupid. I promise you, he's stupid. But I'm talking, I ain't never been a time I called him, he ain't answered the phone. Ain't never been a time, mentoring stuff. Ain't never been a time. He ain't did it for me. I love my mentor. Don't get me wrong. I love him. I love him to life. But you asked me straight up, and that's what I'm saying. My mentor funny, but you asked me that, I'm being honest with you.
Good.
Sinbad is my all-time favorite.
For me, my number one, Michael Collier.
Mm-hmm. He's funny now. I done seen Michael Collier funny as hell.
Funny as hell. And he is raw. If you ever...
I've seen him before.
No, I'm talking about like, if you ever talk to him on a personal level, he won't do it because you're a woman. But me, he like, fuck you want, little nigga. I like, God damn. That's how he talk to me. But it's cool.
That's how he talk on his Facebook page. I follow him.
Yeah. So I got Michael Collier's number one, hands down. Mom's Mabley, number two. Mm-hmm. Number three, Jerry Seinfeld. Number four, Tony Woods. Number five, Dave Chappelle. I always change my stuff. Number six is Ali Sadiq.
Who?
Ali Sadiq.
I know. That's your type of comedy. That's why your comedy is different.
It's nerdy.
It's funny. Yeah. But you're funny. But you're funny. And I respect that. I didn't first get that comedy until I started performing with people who off that off-key, quirky type of comedy. And I was like, shoot, they funny too. They like those zingers and all that kind of stuff. But for me to say, I can tell you who I like, because I like clean comedy. I do. I like, and think about Ricky started out, he didn't used to cuss as bad, but he got Ricky funny as heck to me. And Cat, although Cat Mouth is foul, I'll do a show with him too.
Cat's a genius.
Yeah, and Chappelle.
Oh God. Like, I would like to see like them do like a show with each other. I know it'd be like I know Dave Chappelle did one when he did stand up straight for 4 hours.
Yeah, and he was telling about bombing, and that's I wish I had time to talk about bombing, man. That is the worst, but yet most humbling thing. So I never take advantage of my crowd. I never take anything for granted. And Derek Keener, funny as heck too. Derek Keener told me something that I will forever value in my life. He said, Tonja, when you get that mic and you own that stage, own that stage. He said, you set the tone. And I went to a comedy show and I was just there. And Derek, it was a delay. Everybody was late coming. K-Dub, I performed with K-Dub. And K-Dub was running a little late, but he wanted to go and get the show started. So he said, come here. I said, what up? He said, give me 10. You don't get that kind of opportunity, to say I opened up for somebody and you just, I wasn't dressed right. I ain't had nothing. I worked the crowd. So I set the tone. So when the guy came behind me, Unmasked came behind me. And then when he came, he said, girl, you set me up. So I set him up. And then when K-Dub came, he came and spiked it over the net. So it was a great show that I was able to set the tone on just because somebody gave me an opportunity. But it was, I have bombed many times.
Me too.
But that's new. With 5 years 5 years in the game, you're still doing good. I'm saying we doing good. Your mama even doing comedy. I remember when your mama had she went to comedy school too, right?
Yeah, she did as a bucket list. She ain't ready for that. She ain't ready for that late night. She ain't ready for that.
I want you to know I appreciate you, Ron. And I know when you get up there, you're gonna remember this girl. If you don't remember, let us remember these dimples and this red top.
Oh, I'm gonna remember the cougar.
Cougar, I'm telling you now. Well, do little boys. Little boys call me grandma. I changed pampers for little boys.
Hey.
Not my
Let me chill out if I get myself in some trouble. If anybody wanna follow you, where can they follow you at?
They can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Ton the Comedian. That's it. At symbol Ton the Comedian. At Ton the Comedian. Now my cause is also I support this young lady who wrote a book about domestic abuse. So I support her. Her name is Isabella the author. Her book is entitled I'm I'm not stupid. I just. I thought I had a book right here, but I don't.
And make sure you
so
get.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Make sure because we got less than a minute.
Okay. Good.
I'm sorry. This is I don't know. This is new to me. Make sure you guys follow me at No ID Media. No more podcasts. No ID Media on Instagram and on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me at RomeFunny_89. That's gonna be the name for now because these bots keep coming at me.
Okay. You'll be using your stuff. So at Ton the Comedian, at symbol TON the Comedian. That's it. That's me.
Appreciate you, man, for coming.
All right. Love you to life, my brother. Love you to life.
Love you.
Be blessed.
You too. Cougar.
Not a cougar.